Trailblazer League, second league ever to come out. So of course I woke up early to play it as soon as it came out. It's always super fun playing right when it starts because there's so many people. Everyone's just running everywhere, trying to be the first to do whatever, to get ahead, to get a top spot in the high scores. There's so many people at the beginning of this one that the worlds were lagging like super bad. Every world was full that they put out. So it was a good few hours into the league. They decided to add some more worlds. I think there was over 20 worlds, so it is very popular, very successful, which is really good to see because I love this sort of game type. I was asking for something like this years and years ago, so it's good to see it thriving. So when you start out in this game mode, you select a relic. There's 3 to pick from in the beginning. I picked Endless Harvest, which allowed me to everything that I got from mining, fishing, and woodcutting would be sent straight to my bank, and I would get double of it. And I would get double XP as well. The other 2 options were Skilling Prodigy and Production Master. Skilling Prodigy gave a plus 12 boost to every non-combat stat permanently, but it acted as a boosted stat. So anything that required base stat, the boost wouldn't work for. Production Master essentially lets you process a bunch of different stuff instantly rather than doing them one by one, such as fletching bows. You would do your entire inventory of logs instantly rather than doing one by one. For me, the Endless Harvest that I picked was the best option because I have schoolwork to work on and other stuff, so I need some AFK time, and Endless Harvest is really good for AFKing. Along with that, I think it probably saves you the most time long term, assuming that you're going to go for max or 99s in the resource gathering skills. But which one's best really just depends on how you're going to play and what your goals are. So once I began, I played a bit differently than I think most content creators, and instead of looking at the different tasks and going for tasks to get points, I pretty much had a set plan that I already planned out. That mostly involved getting skills up, doing quests, and doing the diary. But it's definitely not as quick for getting your relics and stuff as just purely going for tasks, which wasn't the best approach to starting out. I definitely got to things a lot slower than other people. So in the beginning, I was doing all the quests around Lumbridge. I did the Stronghold of Security, of course, for the 10,000 GP that it gives you. The museum quiz that gives you Hunter and Slayer. I cleaned finds so that I could get a dig site pendant. One of the big goals in the beginning was to unlock birdhouses and to get those going as soon as possible. An amazing little mini quest you can do to get your construction up to make the clockworks is Daddy's Home. It requires, I believe, 5 bolts of cloth and 10 planks, so it does require some starting GP, but it is definitely worth it to do it. One of the biggest questions and hard things to figure out in the beginning was how to get GP, because you need GP for a lot of things, and there really isn't too many good money making methods on the starting areas. I decided I'd get my GP from thieving guards, which isn't terrible. It's actually one of the better methods. So I thieved men, and I thieved tea, and I thieved ham members to eventually get up to 40 thieving where I could thieve guards. And that is how I made my money for the workshop and to get my construction up. So if you're just starting out and you can't figure out a way to make money, guards is an option. When I unlocked my second relic, there's another 3 options. There's one for a fairy ring teleport, and one for eternal jewelry, and then one called Last Recall. I really don't need to go over the other ones because if you're listening to this, get Last Recall. It is better in almost any situation than the other ones. What Last Recall allows you to do is teleport back to the last spot that you teleported from. So if you are in the middle of the desert and you teleport to Castle Wars, your Last Recall will teleport you back to the desert, the location that you teleported from. In the beginning, I saw a lot of people getting confused about this. I don't know why. It seems like it's pretty clearly worded to me, but what that means is you can teleport to any location in the game that is not an instance, as long as you teleported from that location as your last teleport. This essentially means that you have a portable bank with you, because wherever you're at, if you teleport to a bank, you can just teleport right back to the spot that you teleported from. This has very powerful uses for PVM. Portable bank has very powerful uses for rune crafting. You can teleport straight to altars. There's so many useful spots for this. So it was actually really fun. I think this is one of the best relics they put in this time. It's a very different mechanic, very different from anything that we've ever seen in the game before, to be able to just teleport to any location in the game. So it was a lot of fun using it, and I would strongly recommend it to anyone who gets to tier 2 relic. I know a couple people that picked the Eternal Jewelry and they're regretting it right now, so don't be one of those people. So along with the relics that changed the gameplay in leagues compared to just regular old school, there's also, they split the map into different regions or areas, and you unlock them as you progress through the game. So you start with Misthalin and Karamja, and within a few hours you can usually unlock your third area, and I picked Kandaren for that. The reason I picked Kandaren is for the Trident, Colt, you get red chins, you get a bunch of early quests that are helpful like Waterfall and Fight Arena. You have Arty Knights, which are good for thieving and straight up GP. And then there's a bunch of other benefits as well. The first thing I did when I unlocked Kandaren was to do quests, Waterfall, Fight Arena, Elemental Workshop 2, and then a few others. They don't necessarily give you points. Some of those do, but not all of them. The main reason I was doing them was for XP, really easy early XP. Next, I wanted to do the diaries. The diaries don't really give many points, so this was kind of a waste of time for how many points it gives. I mean, I do got to do them at some point, but probably should have waited a little bit longer before spending my time on these. One thing that took a ton of time was getting the talismans for rune crafting, and the sad part is it could have been so much quicker if I just had a bit of information. I killed wizards at the wizard guild for my water talisman, and it took, I think, 2 or 3 times the rate, and it was packed, so that took hours. Then I killed men and women for the earth talisman. Once again, I went 2 times the drop rate for that, I think. I could have saved so much time. If you just use the fairy ring, you can go to a abyss place. It's different from the abyss in the wilderness. It's another abyss place that has abyssal demons and the abyssal leeches and walkers and stuff that are found in the wilderness abyss. In that abyss, you can kill those leeches for the talismans at a much, much better rate. And you can get all the talismans from the leeches. Not only that, but you can also get pouches from the leeches as well. I ended up going and killing the leeches after I got those talismans in the future anyway for a cosmic talisman. So it would have saved me so much time if I would have just went to the leeches in the first place. So if you're in my position and you need the talismans, go to the abyss fairy ring location. When the time came to pick relic number 3, this is a combat relic. So all 3 options are related to combat. You have the range, the magic, and the melee option. The biggest thing about these relics is it will half and then round up the attack speed of whichever style you choose. So if you choose melee and you have a 6-tick weapon, it will become 3 ticks. If you have a 5-tick weapon, it will become 2.5 and then round that up to 3. And you always round up. Even if it's like 2.1, that would be rounded up to 3. That is an insanely powerful buff. Last league, we had the one that saves 1 tick. This perk could potentially save you like 3 or 4 ticks. Each option raises the accuracy of whichever class you want to do. The range one also raises damage. The range one saves ammunition, like the accumulator. The melee one actually makes you take less damage, 15% less damage. So it's not huge, but that is helpful. And your HP regens 4 times as fast with the melee one. The magic one saves 90% of runes for, I believe, all spells, not just combat spells, non-combat spells as well. I ended up going with the melee option because my end goals for this league, I want to max my total, so I'm going to be doing a lot of skilling. And then the PVM I'm going to do is going to be Barrows, TOB, and Nightmare mostly. And Nightmare will probably be the longest grind out of all of those, and you primarily use melee at Nightmare. Then when it came time for relic number 4, there's only 2 options because the third option was apparently bugged and they couldn't release it. It was a second inventory, but yeah, that's not there, so we don't have that option. The 2 that we do have is Treasure Seeker and Unnatural Selection. So both of these were in the last league. Treasure Seeker is you have a 1 in 20 chance of an NPC dropping a clue scroll if they normally drop one. You can stack your clue scrolls, and all clues will have the lowest amount of steps possible. The reason I did not pick that is because I picked it last league, and I got bored of it pretty quick. I've already had it, didn't want to try it again. Secondly, because you can get steps, you can get clue steps in areas that you don't have access to. That is one of the most annoying things in the game. On my Iron Man, when I get clue steps I can't do, it's just frustrating. Because it's such a waste of time going around doing a clue scroll, and then you just can't do a step and you have to drop it. So I went with Unnatural Selection, and what that does is it allows you to choose your Slayer task. Along with that, you also have a 1 in 25 chance of a superior spawning, assuming you have them unlocked, and the monster you're killing has a superior version. That is a huge speed up to Slayer because superiors have a lot of XP when you kill them. And Slayer is going to be one of the slower skills in the game to train, I think. After the 4th relic, I knew there weren't really enough tasks for me to get the 5th relic very easily, so I decided this was a good time to go and get a easy 99. So I went and got 99 woodcutting, doing 2 tick teaks on Apital. I was planning on doing 1.5 tick teaks, but I still don't have teak seeds, and then I would also have to wait for them to grow for 3 days or whatever it is. And I didn't want to wait. I wanted to get a 99, and woodcutting is actually one of the easiest 99s for me, because of Endless Harvest. Getting your first 99 gives you quite a bit of points, because at level 90 you get 250, 95 you get another 250, and then at 99 you get another 250. So that's 750 points for your first 90 to 99 stat. I wanted to do Soliceps for at least some of my levels to get fossils and get the XP lamps you can get from those, but unfortunately Soliceps were not boosted by Endless Harvest. I thought that they would be, and actually the loot that I got was boosted, but the XP was not. I was only getting 12 times XP, whereas normally I get 24 times XP. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I sent in a bug report, but without the Endless Harvest affecting it, it's definitely not worth it for my relic choices. There we are, guys. My first 99 of the league. 99 woodcutting, 250 more points. 1470, I think that's wrong. Yeah, 1220 until the next relic. I'm pretty sure there are enough tasks I can get that done pretty easy. So let's go ahead and unlock that relic. 1346 total, 24.6 mil XP. There's my stats currently. So in the end, we have a little over 12,000 teak logs banked. Some awesome Endless Harvest.